Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, you're gonna see a crazy intense Jinx game that I had. Basically, I'm already gonna spoil it a little bit. One of my teammates was trolling. He trolled the previous game as well. So we were essentially in like a 4 versus 6 game. And I'm playing Jinx. So you wanna see that, guys. So in the beginning part of the video, I'm gonna explain to you guys how to build Jinx, and I'm gonna talk about a lot of different things during the build because there's a lot of different things to do while building Jinx. There's timestamps in the description if you just want to skip to the gameplay. Sorry. So there's essentially two builds. That's how I should say it. First one is the crit build, and then the second one is the Blade of the Rune King plus the crit build, right? If you choose to go for the Blade of the Rune King build, the way that it goes is you focus on single target damage. So you build a Blade of the Rune King, and then you don't build a Rune Zero King. By the way, this is the item that you don't buy. So after you Blade of the Rune King, you build the Infinity Edge, then you build the Mortal Reminder, Rapid Fire Cannon, etc, etc, right? Just crit items. I don't really like that build. I actually never go for that build, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I'm just gonna tell you guys that it exists. Now we're gonna talk about my favorite build, which is the crit build, and this build always works, really. So the thing about this build is it scales insanely hard into the late game, but in the early game it's not as strong. So you start off with an Infinity Edge, then like right after you get your Infinity Edge, make sure you get boots, get the Glutinous Greaves. These are pretty much always the boots that you go for, and like even if you're against full attack damage, you still go for the Glutinous Greaves because you deal so much damage. So having the Glutinous Greaves is going to heal you up by a lot. After that, you get the Rune Zero King. And then I get this question a lot. Do you first go for the attack speed or for the crit on Jinx? Let me give you a simple answer. Crit. Always go for the crit first after your Infinity Edge. So when you start off with the Infinity Edge, sure, you get the BF sword first because you want to have a lot of attack damage, but after your Infinity Edge, your crits are going to deal 30% more damage. So that's essentially making any other crit item that you get worth 30% more. So when you're building the Rune Zero King, build the Cloak of Agility first. After that, you're gonna have 45% crit already, and like nearly half of your rockets are gonna crit on the enemy, which is huge. So yeah, make sure you get the Rune Zero King second. This is always gonna be the right item to build. The thing is, like, you're gonna shoot 3 rockets. That's the beauty of the Rune Zero King. So you're gonna be shooting 3 rockets. For your enchantment, it's situational. Stasis is good, Protobelt is good if you need to get close to the enemy, and Quicksilver enchant is good if you need to get out of CC. Then as your third item, it's again situational. Whatever you need. Bloodthirster is good if the enemies dive you a lot, or if the enemies have a lot of poke damage. Basically, so you have to think about it this way. Do you want to heal up a lot? Then you get the Bloodthirster, because your rockets are basically gonna instantly heal you up to full HP when you have the Bloodthirster. It's crazy. Do you need more range? Then you go for the Rapid Fire Cannon. This one is basically gonna give you one big rocket in the beginning, and then attack speed as well. But if you want big damage and big healing, then you go for the Bloodthirster. It's like whatever you feel like you need. Fourth item, always a Mortal Reminder, always. Never ever go for a Sewerless Grudge on Jinx because it doesn't work. Her rockets unfortunately don't work with the Sewerless Grudge. An item that you should never go on Jinx is Stormrazor, by the way. This item just sucks on Jinx. It doesn't work, don't go for it. Like, it's just not worth it at all. As your last item, Rapid Fire Cannon, you can go for some crazy static shift build if you really don't need the range from the Rapid Fire Cannon. But Rapid Fire Cannon is just worth it. It's such a good item. Let me see. Guardian Angel is also a good item to go for as your last item, especially if you need the armor. Like whatever you need, right? Bloodthirster and Rapid Fire Cannon are basically situational items. If you need them, you go for them. If you don't go for them. So for your runes, you go for Conqueror. Always Conqueror. I don't know why, but I've seen some Jinx players run Fleet Footwork, which really tilted me a lot. Don't go for Fleet Footwork on Jinx. Thank you. go for the Conqueror, guys. It's just the way to go on Jinx. Second rune Hunter Vampirism. I used to go for Gathering Storm for some time, but it's just not worth it. It takes way too long to get any valuable amount of attack damage. Like 3 minutes, 6, like 12 minutes into the game, you're only getting 14 attack damage. Like, what? Really? Could much rather go for a Hunter Vampirism to get even more healing and also a lot of attack damage. Third rune is situational. You either go for a Conditioning or a Hunter Titan. I really like these late game scaling runes on Jinx because Jinx is a late game champion. But if you really want to win early game, you can go for the Adaptive Carapace, but I really don't recommend. really don't recommend it. Either a conditioning or Hunter Titan. Hunter Titan is what you're generally going to be going because you're not building Mercury threats. And that 15% tenacity that you get from Hunter Titan is going to help you out a lot. 4th rune, you don't go for Sweet Tooth, especially now that it has been nerfed, you go for Mana Flow Band. Reason is, and I'll tell you during the gameplay more about it, because you want to spam your rockets. Like, my Jinx playstyle changed, and this is the better Jinx playstyle. Go for the Mana Flow Band, don't go for Sweet Tooth. For your spells, you go for Barrier and Flash. So enough about the build, let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So, the gameplay that you're about to see is part of the reason why I'm not making daily videos anymore. I know that it's sad, but I'm trying to give you guys as many videos as I can without losing my mind in this game. You'll see. Basically, the Fizz in my team trolled my last game, and he's gonna troll again. So, you guys have been warned. It is what it is, but I'm of course still gonna try to do my job, and you'll want to see this game till the late game. Trust me, you'll want to see this game. By the way, I'm giving away 8 skins this month, 8 legendary skins. So all you have to do to enter is put down a comment under the video, you know, that one as well. So, let's get into it. We got Keys on the support as well. You know, he makes some videos for this channel as well. He's an amazing support. So as you can see, I started my second ability with Jinx. Why the hell would I do that, you may think? So there's really only one reason to do it. If you can hit an enemy with it. Like, if you can catch out an enemy in the early game, it can be beneficial to start with your second ability. Reason is because you're really not going to be utilizing the bonus attack speed from your first ability too much anyways. So you can just shoot your second ability on an enemy to slow that enemy and do a lot of damage. So I've had some people ask me in previous Jinx videos, is it viable to fully upgrade your second ability? By the way, look at that. Look at how much damage I just comboed it with this tornado. But yeah, the question arises, is it viable to fully upgrade your second ability on Jinx? The answer is no. It's not. Like, there is no debating. Let me explain to you why. So even though if you fully upgrade your second ability, it actually deals massive damage, like massive damage. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the way that your first ability works, there's 2 parts to it. The first one, it gives you bonus, it gives you more attack speed when you stack it up, and then the second one, like the more you level it up, the bigger your range gets when you shoot rockets. That's right. The bigger your range gets when you shoot rockets. And this is essential when you play Jinx. You want to have this range. It's just not worth the damage that you get from the second ability to sacrifice this. Like, this is really the bread and butter from Jinx. You want to be fully upgrading your first ability. So, Jinx is, Jinx sucks early game, okay? Jinx is really weak in the early game, and you really have to try to get to the late game as fast as you can. Your full mentality as a Jinx should really just be, I need to get my items as fast as possible, and really, Jinx starts to get relevant after 2 items. Before 2 items, she's so weak. Like, even after your, yeah, like you can see, Keys is saying Fizz AFK every game because the last game he was trolling as well. Like, he was literally just trolling. What was I talking about? Yeah, he's running it down in my lane. You know, this is what I have to deal with. It is what it is. It's probably not gonna get bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, he trolled last game as well, but of course we're gonna try to win this game regardless, and we're gonna make this an insane game. What was I talking about? Yeah, so yeah, you only become relevant after 2 items. After your Runan's Hurricane, and when you can shoot rockets, that's when you become strong. Before that, no, you're just weak. You're like look at this, I'm shooting rockets on him, but I'm not doing anything. Fizz is just running it down, but I don't really care, it is what it is. Oh, nice. Ooh, can we get the skill as well? Ah, it's close. He should be able to get it. Fizz actually stole the kill from Keys, but it is what it is. I mean, that's okay. Like, trading kills like that in the early game is okay with Jinx. It's actually good even, because, as I said, Jinx pretty much outskills, I would say, any ADC in the game. Let me see. She's even stronger than Vayne in the late game, just so you know. Jinx is even stronger than Vayne in the late game. Yeah, he's also chat banned. After the game, I was like, why are you so toxic? And he was like, I'll rip your head off. I was saying some dumb stuff like that. I'll kill your family. I don't know, like, that's what he told me after I added him. I just kind of wanted to make sense out of what he's doing, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's what it is. Who cares anyways? So yeah, I'm just trying to get as much gold as I can because that's what you do with Jinx. Unfortunately, the Fizz is going to be interfering with that because he's going to be taking all my farm. But it doesn't really matter. Like, just try to get as much gold as you can. Try to keep your head cool. I know it can be hard sometimes, but just try, whatever. So yeah, after your Infinity Edge, there is a twist that happens with Jinx. Like, as I said, you're still not going to be strong, but there is a thing that happens, which is basically 1/4 of your rockets is going to hurt a lot. A lot. But it's only 1 out of 4 rockets. So you gotta get lucky, right? Like, that's the problem with only having an Infinity Edge. You have to get really lucky to do damage. If you don't get lucky, you're basically gonna only hit normal shots, and if you don't crit with only an Infinity Edge, you won't do any damage. That is the big problem right here. Oh, I'm dead. Look, I tried to do some cool strategy right there. Flash ulting him and killing him. Imagine if that would have worked, that would have been amazing, but it is what it is. Yeah, like, at first I didn't even bother. I wanted to surrender this game because it's just such a pain in the ass to play with teammates like this. But I'm playing Jinx, guys. Playing Jinx. All you need to do, farm up. And the beauty of Jinx really is it doesn't matter how behind you are, you can always make a comeback. As long as you, like, of course you gotta get lucky if you're super behind, because you gotta get some shutdowns, for example. But besides that, if you just farm up super hard, Jinx is one of those champions that skills so incredibly hard. Like, the power curve of Jinx goes like this. Early game, weak, weak, weak. Mid game, weak. Mid game, weak. Late game, insane power spike. And then it spikes up like a rocket. The average champion goes like this. And then Jinx goes like this. So if you can reach this part right here, you're golden. Like, you will do so much damage that, like, even if you have trolls in your team, you can win. That's the beauty of Jinx. There's not many champions that can do that, right? Like, champions that can do this are, examples are like Orianna, Kayle, Darius, Vayne, you know, champions like that. There's really not many. Maybe Olaf, like, there's just not many. No, actually Olaf cannot, never mind. Olaf totally cannot, I'm joking. But Jinx is one of those champions. But the sacrifice that those champions make, right? Like Jinx, Vayne, Orianna, the sacrifice that these types of champions make is the early game. So all you have to do is get through the early game. Sounds easier than it is, of course. But all you have to do, get through the early game. So how do you get through the early game? This is the mindset that you need to have as a Jinx. Get as much farm as you can. Take lanes, take jungles, take kills. And taking kills is of course harder. But look, like, farm is what you can always take. Right here, this is of course a stupid situation because I have this Fizz trying to take my farm. What I would have normally done is take this farm and then take the jungle. Unless my jungler is here to claim the jungle, right? I'm not gonna take the jungle from my jungler. But for example, let's say I had a normal jungler and he's ganking the bot side map. What I can do, push out my lane and then take the blue side jungle. I always do this when I play Jinx because that's what farms you up so hard. And here I got the Cloak of Agility. So now this is already like a minimal power spike. You know, 45% of your rockets is gonna hurt a lot. You still cannot fully rely on it, because if you don't crit, you literally deal 0 damage. It's that bad. But besides, like, nearly half of your shots are gonna hurt. That's basically the moment that you've reached right there. So yeah, again, just keep farming up until you get 2 items. When you have 2 items, then it is fighting time. Again, you're just not gonna be that strong. Like, look, this is what I mean. You see how that one rocket hurt a lot? Look, I'm trying to get some pokes on the enemy because I know my rocket can hurt a lot. But it's risky. It's risky because if the enemy gets close to me, they can just destroy me. Jinx is really squishy. And Jinx really relies on her range and, like, on her damage. And if you cannot do enough damage to compensate for you taking damage, it's just not worth it. So right here, this is a golden opportunity. There's an Irelia right here, which should be a free kill for me. I root her with my 3rd ability. I really, really need this kill. Just so you know, I really need this kill. Like, I'm even flashing over the wall because I need to claim this kill. There we go, I got it. This is the gold that I need. I desperately went for that kill because I need the gold. There we go, double kill. Like, I need these kills. This is the golden opportunity that I was looking for. The enemy made a huge mistake, and I'm trying to get some kills here. There we go. I already got the kill, but it's okay. I got my rune on Zurich, and I'm still surrendering because I just didn't want to bother with this game. Like, win or loss, I just didn't want to bother because I had such a headache from these ranked matches. keep getting these, I don't know, like super low ranked players that are just trolling my games, but it is what it is. This one is gonna be content for you guys, so I'm glad we didn't surrender. So you'll actually see that my mindset will change after I get the Rune and Hurricane. You'll see that it will literally just change by 360 degrees because the whole game changes. This is where you enter mid-game Jinx. This is where you enter that initial rocket stage, right? Where you go up and up. You're still weak, but you can do something. 50% of your shots are gonna hurt now. The other 50% is gonna be pretty useless. That's how you have to see it. And you know, your crits are not gonna hurt that much. They're just gonna hurt. So what I'm doing right here is I'm not going for any chances. I'm like, whatever, you know, we have a troll. I just need to farm up. Our only way to win this game is me getting hard fed. So what am I doing? I'm sacrificing the dragon and I'm gonna take a turret. I'm gonna farm. I'm gonna take their blue jungle. This is what I'm doing. And you may argue that this is stupid, but this is all, like, this is what I have to do. This is literally what I have to do. Because if I went for the fight, I would have very likely died and not taken anything. And what I'm doing here is getting me a lot of gold. I'm gonna get like thousands of gold in only a minute or a minute and a half right here. So as you can see, taking a turret, I don't really care about my team pinging. I just got 1,700 gold in like 1.5 minutes. That is what it's all about. That is what it's all about, and that is how you can carry the game as a Jinx. So right here, now I have 60% crit chance. I have a lot of healing. I'm starting to build up towards my power, right? Because when you reach 3 items and then get your Mortal Reminder, 75% of your shots is really gonna hurt at that point. Like, really. Of course, there's still that 25% that's not gonna hurt that much, but that's where 5-item Jinx comes in, and 5-item Jinx is pretty much insta-win. Like, it's honestly hard to lose when you have 5 items on Jinx. Unless there's like some special situation where the enemy just snatches away the Elder Dragon or kills you, catches you out. You really shouldn't lose the game anymore, right? Because when you have 5 items on Jinx, you'll shred through the tanks and you'll shred through the squishies, because every single rocket of yours is gonna crit. And you're gonna shoot 3 rockets because you have Runan's Hurricane. Basically, game is won, basically, right? Like, you're only supposed to lose like 10% of the games when you have full build Jinx. So let's take a look at right here. Boom! There is a nice little rocket. As you can see, still not quite as much damage because I only have 2.5 items. I know that that is the problem of Jinx, but the payoff is huge, right? Like, you really, like, when you play Jinx, she's really not that strong, by the way. She's actually quite weak, I would say, and I hate to say it, because I love playing Jinx, but she's quite weak. And honestly, the main reason that she's weak is not really her kit. Sorry, like, it's not her being actually weak, but it's more like teammates not understanding your power spikes, right? Like, you guys know how it feels when you're playing a late game champion like Kill, Nasus, Jinx, Vayne, whatever. Oh, that should be a kill, by the way. There we go. You guys know how it feels, right? Like, when you play a late game champion and your team surrenders or your team is just flaming you. You guys all know how it feels. Same story with Jinx. People don't understand. People just don't understand how this champion works. And as you saw, when I was pushing that bot lane turret, while the enemy was doing the dragon, all of my teammates were pinging me, even the ones that are not trolling. And that says they just don't know how Jinx works. They don't know that I need to farm. Right now I have 3 items. I'm starting to get strong, right? But they don't understand that. Not everyone understands this. And this is honestly probably this is the biggest problem that you're gonna be encountering as a Jinx, which is teammates flaming you because you're playing her like I'm teaching you how to play her. And honestly, like, what am I supposed to tell you? You have to deal with this. This is part of playing Jinx. Sometimes you just have to abandon your team and farm. And when you get a lot of items, it's gonna pay off, right? Like right now, 3 items. It may start to pay off. Like, I'll destroy their squishies, but I'm still gonna have a hard time killing through their tanks. This enemy doesn't have a lot of tanks though, so I've already basically reached somewhat of a late game power spike. My crits are gonna hurt a lot. Don't know what this Fizz is doing though. Like, really hate people like that. I'm not even like, a red buff here would be a free team fight. I'm not bothering to take it because this guy's trolling anyways, so whatever. Just taking some farm when I can. Yeah, as you can see, like, a red buff with Jinx. Jinx is probably the strongest champion to get a red buff on because you build a Runa's Hurricane. It's insanely powerful. What I did right there, by the way, I just checked the bush with my second ability. Because when you hit an enemy with your second ability, you reveal an enemy for a few seconds. So to check a bush, it's always a good idea to shoot your second ability with a Jinx. Let's take a look at this. I can try to poke them with my rocket here. This is a good moment. Janna is a really good champion with Jinx as well, by the way. And any enchanter support really is. You know, like Lulu, Nami, Yumi, stuff like that. Because whatever can buff Jinx's damage is insanely strong with it. So let's take a look at this. They took the dragon, of course. I mean, not much I can do about it. I'm just trying to look for an opportunity to fight. I want to use those rockets to deal some juicy damage. Boom! There it is. Boom! You see, now I'm dealing damage. Boom, boom, boom. Flash out. I'm dealing a lot of damage, as you can see, and I'm healing it right back up because I have the Bloodthirster. This is the power of having Hunter Vampirism and the Bloodthirster, by the way. You'll heal it right back up. That's a kill. We're doing fine right there, as you can see. Like, we're doing okay. Let's see. So, a thing with Jinx is, when do you use your minigun and when do you use your rockets, right? Because the way that the minigun works is, after 3 attacks, you have a lot of attack speed. Like, boom, 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 now I have a lot of attack speed. You see how fast it is? And then, when you use the rocket, like, your next rocket is gonna have that attack speed as well. So you can basically instantly shoot a rocket, but right after shooting one rocket, it resets the attack speed. So keep in mind, when you're using your minigun, be very careful with switching to the rocket. Only do it when you want to use the rocket, right? But keep in mind, you're going to lose all of the attack speed. So sometimes it can be better to just stick with the minigun, even if you cannot reach the enemy, because of the bonus attack speed, right? If you can very quickly get back on the enemy, if you can get back to the enemy very quickly, it's sometimes worth to just skip it out. What did I do out here? Did I get a Mortal Reminder? I'm just telling the Fizzer just that that no one really cares about him. Like, no one, like, winning or losing, I don't care, and I'm pretty sure no one really cares about any of him. And like, what a stupid person, honestly. He deserves to be talked down like this. No one really cares. Like, the guy was trolling all game, and then suddenly when he saw that we could win, oh, let's not troll anymore. Let me just go ahead and try to win. Screw you, man. Like, screw you. Screw people like that. I wanted to make it a fun video, as you can see. I was kind of challenging this idiot. Look at the shielding that I'm getting from Janna, by the way. What the hell? Wow. Yeah, and he's running it down. No one cares. Now the real fun is gonna begin, guys. The 4 versus 5. 4 versus 5 better than 4 versus 6, to be honest. So let's see. I have rockets. Boom! Boom! Look at that Lucian shots. I'm trying to hit the Lucian because I deal so much damage to him. Look at the damage. There is a guy in that bush. Wait, where did he go? I think he backboarded. But yeah, now you can see, I'm gonna take the turret. After I take the turret, when I go on a rampage, I use my rocket to do even more damage. Boom, boom, you see? Like, when you take turrets with Jinx, right after you can use your rockets to do insane damage to them. That's how Jinx's passive works, right? Same goes when you get a kill. You want to be utilizing that, because you will do so much damage with that. It's insane. Boom. Your second ability will do so much damage in the late game too, because you fully upgraded it second. It's just crazy. Like, late game Jinx, it's insane. And even in this 4 versus 5 game, you'll see how crazy late game Jinx is. Just absolutely crazy. Just a monstrosity, really. Taking every farm I can, of course, because if I reach my 5 items, you know what time it is. It's bedtime for the enemy. Taking their farm as much as I can. There we go. Now I can shoot infinite rockets. When you take the blue buff as a Jinx, you can shoot infinite rockets, which is kind of crazy. Ooh. And the thing is, though, you have to be careful. Like, look, boom, that's a good one, boom, boom, but I have to flash out very soon. There we go. Oh, I got a kill, but the thing is with Jinx, you're very vulnerable to getting caught out. I was able to survive that because I flashed out very well. Like, that was a good flash. But be careful, especially if you don't have a flash. Getting caught in Aurelia's ultimate like that is basically death for you. So unless you have a flash, you cannot position yourself like that. And that is why I also really love the Proto Belt on Jinx, because it's essentially another flash, right? Like, I'm not sure if I go for it in this game, but Proto Belt would be a good addition to my build in this game. I really hope I go for it. Stasis? Yeah, there we go. Proto Belt. Like, Proto Belt would be better here because of the extra mobility. It's so good. Like, You being able to hit more rockets because of your proto belt, or escaping certain abilities from the enemy because of your proto belt is so powerful that like it's a viable enchantment to go for on Jinx. It's even like it's worth they got the Elder Dragon, whatever. It's even worth skipping the stasis enchant and the quicksilver in some scenarios. So yeah, now they got the Elder Dragon. That's what I mean, like this game was basically won, even though it was a 4 versus 5. But they took the Elder Dragon. Now it becomes a bit complicated, because yeah, we all know how the Elder Dragon works. It gives the enemies so much extra damage and so many utilities. They have a lot of bonus movement speed now. So especially the Lucian can just very easily catch me out and deal a lot of burst damage to me. That Janna shield though, what? That's crazy. This shield is just crazy. They also got the Baron, so they have bonus attack damage and ability power. Boom, boom. And now suddenly he's not trolling again? Wow, woohoo. You're so amazing. I'm just going ham on them, but... Oh, they do so much damage to me. I rooted him. Oh my god, I actually played that beautifully. Irelia engaged on me, but I rooted her, but we lost the game. Yeah, we lost the game. They've killed all of us. Oh, actually, no, Malphite is alive. Wait a minute. No, we didn't lose. Malphite is alive. I actually recorded this video so long ago that I even forgot whether or not we won or lost. Wow, it's kind of funny. Malphite. Hello, come out of base. The game's not lost yet. Malphite, come out of base. I hate this matchmaking so much. You guys will see many more frustrating games, because a lot of my games have been going like this. I'll upload a few of them on YouTube just because why not, but the majority of them I just delete because yeah, I don't want to show you guys stuff like this. But I still wanted to show you this one because this guy was yeah, whatever. SVP, let's take a look at how much damage I did. We get it, we get it, we get it. Oh. He just invited me? Did you see that? He tried to invite me to a party. I bet he was gonna trash talk me. I didn't even realize that. Wow, that's funny. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.